states that we have a hard time doing the right thing when it applies to those people who we consider outsiders. In the memoir, the German laborers throw bread and other food at the starving prisoners on the train, and then they watch the prisoners fight over the bread like animals. The German laborers don't have compassion, and they view the prisoners as entertainment. Wiesel compares this to the Parisian woman who throws coins at poor children and watches as they fight over it. The woman and the German laborers created a situation in which these poor people were fighting each other like animals. They look at them not as humans, but they look at them as really animals and entertainment. The German laborers and the Parisian woman cannot use their sense of morality or find it really difficult to view these other people as human that they should treat with morals because they're outsiders. This question asked you to look for patterns, and there's two clear patterns. One is that they talk about death a lot. He sees corpses. They call people who threw the corpses off the train grave diggers, right? And this is just because the whole tone of these people's lives are so horrible that death is constantly at the forefront of their minds. The other pattern is that they are described as animal-like several times, especially when food is thrown at them. It talks about their fangs. It talks about how they react as animals. And this simply shows that they have been treated so poorly for so long that they are losing their humanity and really just trying to survive. We see Elizur's father seem to give up. At one point, he says, "I can't anymore, it's over." Before this chapter, he was always trying to help Elizur survive and was determined to survive himself. Unfortunately, we also see Elizur becoming angry at him, like he can't understand why his father is giving up now when they've worked so hard for so long. He thinks about not looking for his father and abandoning him, but of course he doesn't, and he goes looking for him the next morning. At this point, his father is still alive, and Elizur does feel ashamed for struggling with whether he should help him or save himself. When the people next to his father beat his father, he does yell at them and sticks up for his father, and he does the best he can, but ultimately his father does die. At the end, when Elizur's father does die, he says it to himself that deep inside me, if I could have searched the recesses of my feeble conscience, I might have found something like free at last. Somewhere deep inside, he knows that his father is now free from the torture and the horrible reality that they face. And if he had the time and energy and the ability to really think about it, he might even realize that maybe death was better for his father after all that they had experienced. Jewish resistance plays a big role in the last chapter. When the loudspeaker calls all of the children to gather, they are warned by a prisoner to go back because they actually were intending to kill them. And then as the confusion grows, the more and more Jews pretend not to be Jewish, so that the next day, when the remaining prisoners are told to gather, the Jewish resistance movement fights back. Armed men appear and the SS flees. The resistance takes charge of the camp.